Well, hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another moment with Audrey. We're going to get ready to do a little bit of math. It has been a day. So, what we're going to be working on today, we're going to work on those matrices. Someone actually mentioned that the other one of the sessions. I can't even remember. But what we're going to do today is we're going to add, subtract, and also do the scalar multiplication of those matrices. So let's kind of get ourselves situated. I need to kind of see us on here. There we are. All right, so if we kind of take a gander, let's kind of zoom in to some of the things that we need to go. We need to get some of this terminology written and ready to go. So when we look at matrices, we have from left to right, they're called rows. Up and down are called columns, okay? And the numbers that are making up those rows and those columns, they are called elements. So right now I have 2, 4, 6 elements, but I have 2 rows and 3 columns. The way that I would name this matrix right here, it always starts with your rows, then your columns. So since we have 2 rows, this is a 2 by 3 matrix because we have 2 rows and we have 1, 2, 3 columns. Now with all of that, it's just another way. And what is a matrix? So let me kind of unzoom just a hair, just so you can kind of get most of this terminology. So it's a rectangular or arrangement of numbers in rows and columns. So if you are running your business and say that you're having a t-shirt business, you're going to have kids small, medium, large, extra large. You're going to have ladies large, medium, small. You can range it by your different sizes, not only just the sizes, but also the sexes. So like you may have a woman's cut shirt, you might have a men's cut shirt. So no matter what, that is one real world example of how you can use matrices. If you have an Excel program, okay, Excel, that's matrices. Okay, you're organizing things, you're putting them into rows, you put them into groups, and then you're organizing like how many numbers of blank you have compared to something else. So I know business owners, you guys use matrices so much. So the dimensions, as I mentioned over here, is this 2 by 3. Okay, the dimensions always talks about the rows, then the columns. So one thing I really want to point out is the equal matrices, okay? So matrices that have the same dimensions and equal elements in corresponding positions. So if I have a 2 by 3 matrix, that means I have 2 rows and 3 columns. Now when I'm combining and I'm looking at what's called a scalar, okay? When I'm looking at a scalar, it's basically a real number. So usually, sometimes it's a positive, sometimes it's a negative number, in which you multiply the matrix. So if we take a look at this one down here, okay, we have our scalar, which is the 4, and we have our elements. That is giving us a 2 row and 3 column matrix. So if I wanted to solve this, it's almost like you're doing the distributive property. You're taking this 4 and you're multiplying everything in the matrix by that 4. Okay? And that's all you do. That's for the scalar multiplication. Now, I want to also emphasize that scalar multiplication and matrix multiplication are 2 separate things. All right, so tomorrow we're actually going to be working on the matrix multiplication because it's very much in detail. and it's also in depth. So let's get started. Yes, you also can do the matrix in your TI-84, of course. So if I were to add or subtract your matrix, the only time, and this will save you a lot of time, the only time you can add or subtract a matrices is if they have the same dimensions. So if I take a look here, we have 2 rows and 2 columns. So this is a 2 by 2 matrix. In the second matrix, we have 2 rows, 2 columns. So that is a 2 by 2 matrix. So when we do this and we add those 2 matrices together, we should also get a 2 by 2 matrix. And that's what we do. So first row, so I'm going to say row 1. That's row 1. This is row 2. Okay, row 1, row 2. So if I'm in row 1, column 1, I can add it to the element that's also in row 1, column 1. So that's how I know I can add A plus E. If I'm in row 2, column 1, that means I'm going to add the element that's also in row 2, column 1. So it's C plus G, and the answer will go here. If I'm in row 1 but column 2, that means I'm adding to the element that's in row 1 and column 2, which is BF. So I just do B plus F, and that answer will go there. And lastly, if I'm in row 2, column 2, I am combining the element that's also in row 2, column 2, which is D plus H, and you put your answer over here. So if you notice, you have 2 rows and you have 2 columns because it came from 2 rows and 2 columns. Now, if I had 2 by 2 and a 3 by 2, can't do it. If I'm adding and subtracting, can't do it. Multiplying, on the other hand, you can do something, but there is a pattern. All right? So, taking a look at a couple of problems. So today is going to be a short lesson. I am extremely tired. I'm not even going to sit here and try to lie. Okay? But I am going to give you enough examples to hopefully make you feel pretty confident in doing what we're doing here. All right. Let me lower this a little bit. Okay. Oops. So we have a 1, 2, 3 rows. Okay, we got 3 rows and 1, 2 columns. So we have a 3 by 2 matrix here. Over here we have 3 rows and 2 columns. So that tells me when we have the same dimensions, I can add these together. And it will also give me 3 rows and 2 columns. So now, starting with row 1 is always at the top, column 1. So we have -2 plus 1, which gives me a -1. We have 1 plus a -4. That gives me a -3. Now, if I go into the second row, first column, I have 0, and that's matched up with my -2, which gives me a -2. Now I have 3 plus 9, that gives me 12. 7 plus 1, that gives me 8. And 6 plus 5, that gives me 11. Okay? Notice I'm always kind of like in a zigzag motion, right? So we started off with a 3 by 2. We added to a 3 by 2. And now we have our answer, which is a 3 by 2. All right. Hey, April. Hey, Janine. Hey, Vice. Jonah, how are you? Ruth, how are you? Thanks for the follow. I want to say Tapan Day. That's what I want to say. All right, so I'm glad you guys are all here. Hopefully you guys are understanding. Now, if there ever gets a chance that you're like, I don't know what's going on, just make sure you put the question in so we can get that clarification. All right. So now, for the next one, we have here a 2 by 2 matrix, 2 rows, 2 columns, and we're subtracting by a 2 by 2, 2 rows, 2 columns. So that means 1, I can combine these, and 2, my answer should be a 2 by 2 matrix. All right. Always start with the first row, first column. So we have -6 minus 3. That gives me a -9. Now we have 2 minus 0. That will give me a 2. -1 minus 7. That will give me a -8. And -5 minus a -1. When you minus a negative, it turns positive. So -5 times our +1, that'll give me a -4. So as we see, we have a 2-row, 2-column solution. Okay. All right, how are we feeling? All right. How we use matrices to find distance between a line and a point. Yeah, not tonight, Angel. Really not. I'm just really just going through the motion, going to do what I got to do, and then getting off because I need to go to bed. Okay? Haven't been to bed yet since yesterday. So it's really starting to hit me. But anyway, I'm so sorry. Okay. So now we have 2 rows, 2 columns. So we have a 2 by 2 matrix. Here we have 2 rows, but 1 column. Can I combine those? Yes, I hope so too, Angel. I really do. Stress is a killer. Okay? Can I combine these two? I'd be stalking you. No, just kidding. All right. Okay. So we have a 2 by 2 matrix, a 2 by 1 matrix. Can I combine them? Can I subtract them? Okay. You can type in Y for yes, N for no. You can do a thumbs up. You can do a thumbs down. You can also do a question mark if you are unsure. All right. What do we got? What do we got? Who's going to be the sacrificial lamb? Come on. What do you think? We have 154 people in here. Thank you, Susan. Susan is saying no. Thank you so much for Susan. I greatly appreciate you stepping up. Thank you. All right. Is there another volunteer? I here for tribute. Okay. So, the reason why. Okay. Take a look at the dimensions. This is a 2 by 2. This is a 2 by 1. When you're adding or subtracting, your dimensions have to be the same. Look at the previous problem that we had. We had a 2 by 2 minus a 2 by 2. So we got out a 2 by 2. Same thing happened with this one. We had a 3 by 2. This was a 3 by 2. We were able to add them together because our answer was a 3 by 2. All right? So the dimensions have to be the same when you are adding or subtracting. Now, this next one is looking like a scalar. Okay? So we have this -3. So this is your scalar. So when you see a number outside of your matrix, all you're doing is distributing everything by this -3. Okay, that's all you're doing. Okay, so I know this matrix is a 2 because there's 2 rows, but it has 4 columns. Although we have a scalar out here, it looks like we're still going to have a 2 by 4 matrix. All right. And I will ask you to volunteer and all that, but I know it's going to be hard to write the numbers in. I didn't think about that until just now. I'm like, ooh, that's going to be a little bit hard. All right. So if you did do this, -3 times -1 gives me a +3. -3 times 3 gives me a -9. -3 times -2 gives me a 6. -3 times +4 gives me a -12. And then -3 times 2, -6 again. -3 times 9, that will give me my -27. -3 times 6, that will give me my 18. And -3 times 0 will give me my 0. All right, so we started off with 2 rows, 4 columns. And although we had a scalar, we still did the 4 columns and 2 rows. All right. Okay, questions? Okay, any questions whatsoever before we tackle the next problem? I'm going to leave it up here. But if you guys can tap the screen, triple twos are up. All right, if you could tap the screen, I would greatly appreciate it. And before I forget, a lot of my lives, I actually put the replays on my YouTube channel, which is Audrey Codner, ACG Math Tutoring. And then also, if you feel so inclined to give me a Google review, hey, all of this I'm asking from you is free, okay? It's something that's going to help me get some more clients so I can pay some more bills and one day go on a nice vacation. That would be kind of nice, right? All right. So speaking of vacation, before we know it, summer will be here. I mean, look at it. It's almost the end of April. I just remember that it just started. So if you are looking for like private tutoring, I can also do small groups. I do have some math notebooks, including the notebook that I'm using that is on sale over in Amazon. You can also click the link in my website, which is in my bio. And then I have some on-demand courses. You know, you got your videos. You can always come here and ask the questions, and we can actually do those questions live. Okay, so you'll get a better understanding of what you're doing and how you're doing it. Okay, so be on the lookout if you want to learn more about the courses or the math notebook or even just a small sessions or small group sessions. Just let me know. Go ahead and hit the link in my bio, fill out the contact form, and I'll get in touch with you basically within less than an hour, sometimes two. Okay? All right. So, thank you. So tonight we are working on matrices, adding, subtracting, and multiplying with a scalar. So this is what's happening. I'm going to see if I can get the whole problem in here. So this is what's happening. We have parentheses with two matrices that's inside the parenthesis, and it's going to equal another matrix. So we could combine things, and before we hit with the scalar. So always do what's inside the parenthesis first before the scalar. So if I wanted to add these 2 by 2 matrices, 3x plus 1 gives me 3x plus 1. 1 plus negative 3 gives me negative 2. 0 plus 2, that'll give me 2. And 6 minus 2y will give me a 4y. Okay, so that's my matrix. And they were able to combine because I have a 2 by 2 plus a 2 by 2, and the answer was a 2 by 2. What do you think would be the next thing you would do? Do I need a nap? I don't need a nap. I need to go to bed. I haven't been to bed all day. So, what should I do next? What is it? 4y and not 6 minus 2y. Oh, you're right. That's why I need a nap. So 6 minus 2y. Thank you. Who said that? Jonathan, thank you so much. Okay. So, B's, I think that's what I'm saying. Yes, B's, you can do this. Basically like helping you with organization. So I mentioned this earlier. So like say you have a business and you have different products and you need to organize those products. And you wanted to make sure that you know what the sales are. It's like looking at your analytics. Your analytics is matrices and your Excel is matrices. So almost everything you guys do is matrices. How you organize your shirts, how you organize your drawers, how you organize your closets, how you organize your shoes if you're like a person that loves like tennis shoes or sneakers. Like how do you organize or decorate your rooms? Like all of that is actually matrices. So yeah, you got it all on there. I was like, does math get this hard? Well, this is the calmer of the two, okay? So now we need to multiply everything inside of this parenthesis by the scalar. So if I multiply, I'm going to multiply the 3x and the 1. So 4 times 3x gives me 12x, plus 4 times 1 gives me 4. That's all one element. Okay, that's one thing I didn't mention. Now, if I multiply the 4 and the negative 2, that gives me negative 8. If I multiply the 4 and the 2, this will give me 8 down here. And if I multiply the 4 and the 6 minus 2y, that's what's happening right there. Kind of did a little screw up. So I'm going to have 4 times 6, which gives me 24, minus 4 times 2y, which gives me 8y. All right. So that is another matrix. And you're probably saying, well, okay, Audrey, what do I do with this other matrix that's out here? Well, you're going to set things equal to those elements. So just like how we were doing this matrix plus this matrix, we're going to do this matrix equal to this matrix. And that's perfectly fine because it's a 2 rows, 2 columns, and this is also a 2 rows, 2 columns. So if we gather them together, it's going to look something like this. We have our 12, and I forgot the x. I have my 12x plus 4 is going to equal negative 8. So that's going to be one element. Then I have my negative 8 is equal to negative 8, but I don't need that because it looks like I'm looking for what the value of x is and what the value of y is. So I'm using the matrices to help me find what those values of x and y's are. So I have my 12x plus 4 is equal to negative 8 because this 12x plus 4 is in the first row, first column, and this negative 8 right here is in the first row, first column. So that's going to be one of our equations. The other equation is going to be 24. So 24 minus 8y, what is that going to be equal to? What is that going to be equal to? Yes, Lex. Good. Good. Froggy Queen. Good. Shay. Good. It's going to equal 0. So now we have two equations. So let's solve this first one. So we have 12x plus 4 is equal to negative 8. So we're going to subtract 4. So that means we have our 12x is equal to negative 12. So that means x equals what? Hey, Lisa. Hey, Shay. Your boy, how are you? Hey, yes, Jonathan, good. Just for the system of equations problem. Yep, you can use matrices for a system of equations. Yes, you can. That's not happening tonight, though. But it is definitely on my list of things to do. So right now we are adding, subtracting, and doing a scalar multiplication for matrices. Okay. Well, sometimes people don't have calculators and no one can actually bring Desmos into any testing areas because I know the AccuPlacer, things like this, you won't be allowed to use a calculator for. So you're going to have to learn to use it manually. Okay. No. I did system of inequalities yesterday. Okay. All right. So now for the second equation, we got our 24 minus 8y equals 0. So that means I am going to subtract 24. I had to do this multiple times today. All right. This minus sign right here, let me zoom in. Boom. Okay, you see this minus sign? It's going for the 8. Okay, this is really saying minus 8y. Okay, your signage of numbers are always to the left of the number. So right now, this 24, that's a positive 24. Okay, you can hear the tiredness in my voice. I've been dealing with this all day. Okay, so this negative sign is not with the 24. This negative sign or minus sign is with the 8y. So in order for me to move this 24, it's originally a positive 24. So I have to do the opposite. I have to subtract the 24. So now I have negative 8y. Don't forget to bring that down, equals negative 24. So now in order for me to get y by itself, I have to divide both sides. Not by negative 8y, just by negative 8. The reason why you're doing this is negative 8y is multiplication. The opposite or the inverse of multiplication is division. Okay, we're doing this so we can figure out what y or the variable is by itself. And yes, I see all my people with 3, 3, 3s, 3, 3s. Watch your signs. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So we're looking at a positive 3. Okay. All right, good. So these are the little things. I know, it makes me exhausted, but here, these are the things because I don't think anyone's really pointed it out. That especially when it gets to this part, a lot of people would say, oh, okay, oh, I got to add 24 on both sides. And then you do get a negative 3. And I don't want you to get anything wrong because of the signage. Okay, so make sure you're looking at the sign to the left of the number. If you don't see anything there, it's assumed that it's a positive number. All right. Okay. So let's see if I can take a look. How do you feel with this stuff? Let's put it that way. Are you feeling pretty good? Anybody have any questions? Okay. Did I see AP? Did I see Amber coming sneaking in here? Okay. All right. Oh, thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Okay. Yes. So definitely don't want to isolate that. Okay. All right. So let me give you guys a couple examples, and I would love for you to put your answer in. Okay, so I'm just going to do like a couple more, and then we're done. I know, this is definitely going to be a short and sweet night. Try to put your answers down as best as you can, but here we go. All right. Decide to do it like this. So number 10. Okay. Take a look. Tell me what my answer for X is. Well, I want to give you a headache. I already have a headache, so we're in the same boat. But I'm not 66, but, you know, I'm up there. All right. What does this mean? So we got matrices. We want to see what my X value is. So Riley is saying X equals 7. Do we agree? Do we agree? Do we agree that the x is 7? Okay, yeah, you're going to have to wait because you missed all of that. So give me a moment. This is what happens when you come later. Okay. All right. Yes, guilty. Hey, film artist, how are you? All right. So let's take a look. If I look in this first, we have a 2 by 2 matrix, and we have a 2 by 2 matrix. Here's almost like a little mini shortcut. I notice in the second row, second column, I have 3x. What matches in the second matrix? What matches the second row, second column with that 3x? What matches it? Okay, Joe's saying 7. Michael's saying 7. Caleb, there you go. You're saying 7. All right. So, how are we getting these 7s? What matches with this element of 3x in this second matrix? Okay, good. Naya, thank you. So it matches with 21 because 21 is in the second row, second column as well. So set those two equal to each other. If you just need to solve for x, set them equal to each other, hence the equal sign in between. Divide both sides by 3, and x is equal to 7. You don't have to worry about anything else. You don't have to set anything else equal to 0. Okay? So for number 11, okay, solve for x. Think about what we just did. Just think about what we just did. Otis, you all right? Hearing some voices in your head? What's going on? No? Okay. So what's wrong? Life's getting you down? What's going on? Yeah. Just feeling a little overwhelmed? Okay. That's all right, Otis. Hey, trust me. I know those feelings. I know that time. Okay? So is it the math that's feeling overwhelmed, or you just feel like everyone's getting the answer before you get it and you just need more time to process? Mm-hmm. Hamza, yes it is. It is matrices. Just trying to find what is x. Solve for x. Okay, need more time? Okay, Otis. All right. Okay. So if anything, look at your different matrices. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3 matrices. And we're only focusing on the spot that matches with that 2x. Hey Michael, how are you? Yeah, today's going to be a little short one too. All right, so Otis, walk with me here. In this first matrix, the second row, second column, we have that 2x. Okay? If I look into this next matrix, okay, what matches in the same spot? What will match in the same spot in this matrix where 2x is? So I just want Otis to answer that question for right now. Okay. Now the 4 is in the first row. We want to get things in the second row. So let me try this, because I know how it can be overwhelming. One moment. Got to rip paper here. All right. So we're going to ignore this side for just a moment. And we're going to ignore up here for just a moment. Okay. So this is one matrix. This is another. What's in the same spot of 2x in this matrix? Not a problem, Joe. More than welcome. Hey, Tilted Halo, how are you? Okay. So right now, I just want to hear from Otis. Okay. Oh, waiting for the rain. Yeah. Otis, you still with me? There we go. I don't know. Okay. So if 1 is here, 0 is matching here. So if 2x is here, that means 5 is matching up. Okay? 2x and 5 are in the same spot. Okay? All right? So if we got our 2x and we have a 5, they're going to be in the same spot. If I look at the third matrix that's over here, what's in the same spot with the 2x, the 5? What's in that other spot? Okay, no problem. So what will be the other? There you go, Otis. There you go. Got the 1. So now, these are the 3 numbers we're going to be dealing with. We're not going to deal with anything else. So let's set it up as an equation. So the first number is a 2x. We have a minus sign in between the first matrix and the second matrix. That comes down. Then we have this 5. Remember that was in the same spot as a 2x? Bring that down. In between these 2 matrices is an equal sign. Bring that down. And then the last number that's in the same spot as 2x and 5 is our 1. So what you just did is set up an equation. Okay? We're setting up an equation. So now the goal, when you're solving the equation, you always want to get the variable by itself. So the best way for me to describe it, all right, we're all in the club, right? This is you, you are the X, your boo is the 2. Here comes -5. There's always that one negative person want to be in the club. Like, you come into a club to be happy, but there's always that one negative person. The music's too loud. My drink is all watery. All kinds of stuff. And they're ruining the vibe. So what you need to do is do the opposite to get rid of them. They're negative. So now let's do something positive. Why don't you go over there and see number 1? I saw him looking at you from across the room, girl. Go ahead, go get that. Right? So now you got rid of that negativity. Right? So now we have our 2X. That's you and your boo. You over here jamming it up, dancing it up. Okay? Number 5 and number 1, they're bonded. Hell, they're making plans. Right? But then, dun dun dun, your boo messed up. Boo thing just messed up. Doing too much. All of a sudden want to be flirting with somebody across the way. Taking a drink for somebody that she don't know. Acting like she grown. Right? So what do? You divide them out your life. There you go. Divide them. Get out. All right? So now, here's you. Independent. INDEP. Right, okay. Right? So now you by yourself, you're just rocking it. And then, of course, these guys, they're just having fun with themselves. 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. All right? Math doesn't have to always be boring. It does not always have to be boring, okay? But that's basically what you're doing when you're solving equations. And I don't know what it is, but today I felt like, like you want someone to get it, but for some reason they weren't getting it. But Otis, how are you feeling now? How are we feeling now? How's everybody feeling now? Are we feeling okay? Are we feeling confused? But it takes time. Everyone thinks that as soon as you come out the womb, you're supposed to know math like there's no tomorrow. Come on now. Give yourself some chances. All right? Give yourself a chance. Oh, not tonight. Quadratic equations is actually, if you go to my YouTube channel, I did, I think 2 or 3 videos on that. Okay? All right. Now, don't want to do word problems just yet. And let's see. Let's try number 5. Oops. Here's 5. Okay. Now, step by step. Okay, step by step. So that means starting with the first row, first column. You want to add to the first row, first column of the other matrix. Okay. So we got the first row, first column. In one matrix, you're going to combine with the first row, first column in the other matrix. Yes. So that's going to give us 3. Now, we have our first row, second column. That's going to be added to first row, second column. What's -5 plus 14? I'm going to do the first row, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Okay. So do we agree with 9? Only got one person saying 9. There we go. There you go, bees. Good. All right. So that's going in this spot. First row, second column. Now, we got first row, third column. Matched up with first row, third column. So that's 7 plus 6. Nice. Good. Here you go. Pay. Good. Pay. Good. So we have that 13. All right. So that's your first row. Okay. First row, first column, first row, second column, first row, third column. All right. Use this as a pattern. Do my second row. There we go. Good job, bees. Good, Danielle. Good, Michael. Nicely done, Danielle. I love my overachiever bees. Right? MJG, nicely done. Good, Danielle. Good job, everyone. So, second row, first column, 2 plus 0. 2 plus 0 gives me 2. Then we have second row, second column, adding to second row, second column. So negative 12 plus 12 gives me 0. And now we have 0 plus negative 4. That gives me negative 4. Okay. All right. Oh, little smoochies. How are you? I haven't seen your name in a minute. To what? Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it is quicker. Sometimes it is quicker. I'm okay. I'm really tired. So today's going to be a short session, and I do apologize. It's probably going to be like a good hour. Okay. But I'm just really, really tired today. All right. And then some people were telling me the last row. So 8 plus 2 gives us 10. Negative 4 plus 7, that gives me 3. And 6 plus 3 gives me 9. So this is my answer matrix. I knew I was going to have a 3-row, 3-column matrix because this was a 3 by 3. This was a 3 by 3. So my answer had to be a 3 by 3. Because if I have something like number 4, can I do this? Can I add those up? Okay. So MJG is saying no. Anyone else agree? Agree or disagree? Okay. So Danielle agrees. Michael is going to be no. Cannot be added. Okay, Trix is saying yes, but I think it's yes to agree. Not a chance. Different dimensions. Good, Joseph. Okay. You can multiply them. If we had multiplication in between, yes, but we're going to learn that one tomorrow because that has a lot of steps. Okay, a lot of steps. So, we have, what type of matrices do we have here, guys? Put it in the chat. Okay, what kind of matrices do we have? This is a blank matrix and this is a blank matrix. You can separate it with a comma if you want. What time tomorrow? Tomorrow's what? Wednesday? 8:30. Yep, 8:30 tomorrow. Solving inverses. Using that with identity matrix. Yeah, definitely not tonight. I'm so sorry. Funky matrix. Yes. Okay. I have a test tomorrow in that. Okay. Thanks, man. All right. Well, good luck with your test. So, if anything, we have a 1 row, 3 columns. Then here we have 1, 2, 3 rows and 1 column. All right. So since we are adding, anytime you're adding or subtracting, you cannot combine them with different dimensions. These are your dimensions, 1 by 3, 3 by 1. Okay. So definitely not possible. Okay. All right. Fabulous. All right. And then lastly, number 9. Okay, last problem for today, number 9. Probably struggling with you, H. I cannot stand linear algebra. There's certain parts. Okay. Yep, this is Michael's last question. One more. This is it. All right. That's all right, Danielle. Encore. Hello, Bomber. Encore. Is that Don Martin? Ron Martin. Oh, well, thanks for the follow, Ron Martin. Oh, okay. I was like, who? I was like, do 4 ho go into them? I was like, yeah, so you're going to multiply the 4. So not so much factoring, but mostly multiplying. I was like, I'm tired, so I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. I'm like, what? Right? But I do appreciate you guys coming in. I appreciate you guys being here, supporting me. My goodness. I mean, you could be doing something else. I don't know. Learning a new recipe, hearing the latest gossip, get some meditation on, speaking something into the atmosphere, getting tarot reading, book talk, foot talk, I don't know. Whatever roats and floats your boat. Banana bread? Oh. Is that my girl Ruth? All right. Nice. Okay, so basically, what? No, that's not Ruth. Okay, sorry. I thought you were someone else. So how do we solve TikTok, book talk, foot talk? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a new one now. For all you foot people. Okay, so you're basically multiplying everything inside this matrix by -4. Okay, so that's exactly how we solve it, Danielle. Okay, so multiply every term by -4 and watch your signs. Okay, thank you, Danny boy. Yes. Okay. Just want to see the video. You guys are so inventive with your names. It's so hilarious. All right. Okay, so first row, first column. -4 times 4, that gives me a -16. -4 times 1, remember it's first row, second column, that gives me a -4. All right. So you got your 20. So yep, -4 times -5 gives me 20. And -4 times 0, yes, Danielle, that gives me 0. Yes. Okay. All right. So -4 times 1, -4. And -4 times -3, +12. So although we multiply by this thing called a scalar, sorry, I'm going to move my hand in a second. Okay. We still end up with a 3 rows, 2 columns matrix as my answer. 3 rows, 2 columns. Okay. Have I ever streamed linear algebra? Not really. Those are fun too, to an extent. To an extent. All right. So basically what we did today, thank you so much for the follow. Guys, thank you so much for the likes and the follows, because it has been a very emotional day. I had some really good students, but sometimes when you're repeating and you're just like, how are you in high school and multiplication? But then I had to stop and think, hey, it's the easy part of matrices, of course. Yeah, because the harder ones, all I know is how to put it in the TI-83. But I want to show you guys tomorrow how to multiply matrices. How to actually multiply. Not to scalar multiplication, the other one. Okay. You show where to jumpstart mine. Yes. Well, I've done a lot already. So for those, let me unzoom. Okay, so here's a little bit of my notes. So for those that are just coming in, you might want to take a look at this. Okay, so from left to right are your rows, up and down are your columns. The numbers that fill in your matrix are called elements, okay? Now, if you want to name your matrix, you name it by rows, then columns, okay? So this is 2 rows, 3 columns, so it's a 2 by 3 matrix. Now, when you are adding and subtracting, this is key. When you're adding and subtracting, you can only add and subtract matrices that has the same dimensions. Okay, they have to have the same dimensions when you're adding and subtracting. Multiplying, there's a little thing that you have to do. But if you're doing scalar multiplication like this one, if you're multiplying the 4 to everything inside the matrix, that's not the same as matrix multiplication. Okay, it's a little more detailed. And we're actually going to do matrix multiplication tomorrow. I'll see if I can make sure I put my glad rags on for that one. All right. Had to do row operations to find the undisclosed. Yep. How was it popping in my TI? Yep. And work backwards. Exactly. I'm like, guys, this thing called a calculator, it is a tool. It's a resource. You know, AI, even the AI, chat GPTs, you know, Grammarly, all that stuff. They're tools. Here's my thing. I love when people say, well, chat GPT is like cheating. Well, here's the thing. You have to put the information into chat GPT. You have to figure out what exactly you want for it to come out of it in order for you to say, hey, my AI did it all by myself. It didn't. You still have to put information in. And you still have to understand what you want to see to come out of it. So that's your knowledge as well. So just use it as a tool. It's okay. All right. So Desmos, that works great. But some of the things, I don't want you guys to get so caught up with Desmos, because most of the times, some of these assessments, you won't be able to use Desmos. And then if they do put an electronic version of the TI-83 in front of you, you're going to be like, I don't know what to do. All right. So I wish they still had, at one of my old schools, I started a program for when seniors were graduating and they knew they weren't going to have a math class, to see if they want to donate, and then started like a donation type thing. So people can like rent out the calculator for the whole year and then just pass it on and pass it on and pass it on. So, because I know calculators is like $100 and some odd now. And yeah, that's all we need to say about that. But, you know, it would be nice. Do you use this as a part of coding? Yes. Matrices? Yes. You can do it with coding as well. I don't do coding. It's not like I'm against it. I just never had the opportunity to sit down and learn it. So I definitely would love that. And I think it'll be a great idea, because then when the seniors graduate and say they don't have to take like a math class their freshman year in college, or even if they do, like after they finish with their class and they said there's no more math classes, they can come back to the school and almost like sell their calculator for like, you know, 20 or 30 bucks or something like that, because it's used. And then someone's like renting it, and it just keeps rotating and over and over and over and over. All we have to do is just keep changing the batteries, you know, because some people just can't afford everything. But sometimes I feel like, yeah, it's all kinds of crazy. Alrighty. Okay, so that's what we were doing today. Matrices, we did some adding, we did some subtracting, we did a little bit with the scalar, and hopefully I gave people some motivation. You know, you guys can definitely do this thing called math, and I really do appreciate you guys being here, because I know it's exhausting, it's tiresome, but we're all trying to do our part. Now, if you like the setup of my notebook here, I actually designed this. Yep, I made this. Okay, look what I can do. So I made this notebook. It has 100 pages. One side has the dot grid, the other side has the grid itself. Now, if you know you're not very strong with your multiplication and you need some assistance, I have what's called a factor sheet, and it goes from 1 all the way up. Let me see if I can angle this a little bit. All the way to 200. And this is great when you're trying to do factoring, if you're trying to simplify radicals, and you're just trying to figure out what those two sets of numbers, because what I have here in red is what's called the perfect prime combination. So if I were to break down radicals, say I had a square root of 117. Well, I know I have factors of 1 and 117. I have 3 and 39, but I have 9 and 13. 9 and 13, 9 is a perfect square root, 13 is prime. So all I have to do is just put those numbers down, boom, and break down the square root of 9, which is 3. So I have that. All my prime numbers are in yellow. All my perfects are in blue. And then in addition to that, I have like order of operations, properties of exponents. We're looking at some of the linears. So there's a lot of little stuff in here that can be helpful. The rules of integers to kind of help you out a little bit. And then a lot of people are starting to finish up the volume chapter and the surface area. But here are all the most well-known ones that are used. We have area of a sector. We have arc length as well. And then we have Pythagorean's theorem. And we have SOHCAHTOA. So it's like I tried to build up some of the resources that you're going to see as a math student to help you. What are those common areas that can, be useful, as well as the unit circle. And then some brain breaks. Everybody needs a brain break, okay? So where can you purchase? If you click on my profile, there is my ACG Math Tutoring website. You can go and order it through there. I have a link that goes directly to Amazon. I'm currently working on my self-publishing, so I can just, give Amazon a break. Yes. So thank you. Thank you for support. Teachers Pay Teachers notes. I am almost done. I'm just putting a new fresh taste on it. So what I did was I copied all my notes from up to last night, and hence that's why I was up all night. But what I'm doing is I'm adding the recording of the replay onto the sheet. So then you can just basically hit a scan, get the replay of the video so you can follow along with the notes. So that's what's making it a little bit longer, right? So, and especially it makes it a lot easier. I don't know if I want to do Teachers Pay Teachers. I don't know. It's just something about Teachers Pay Teachers that just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my insecurities of life. I don't know. But that's what I'm doing. So all the pages are already scanned. I just want to take a quick run through to make sure I got the right video for the right sheet. I already have the stripe situated, and I think it should be definitely rolling out this week. Okay, so yes, can't find my link for my website, ACG Math Tutoring. It better be there. Listen to me like threatening anybody. I was like, it better be there. Okay. All right. Well, P.S. If anything, P.S. Go ahead and send me a message. If anything, I can send you the link. I can't get your profile or whatever reason. All right. Is it because we're not friends, or are we friends? I think we're friends. Are we friends? If we're not friends, we're going to be friends. So just send me a message so we can be friends if that might be the problem, and then we'll take it from there. Okay? To subscribe. Man, I ain't famous. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, because I'm not doing the subscription. At one point I was thinking about doing it. I'm not going to do the subscription anymore. Yeah, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can send you a message, and then we'll just take it. All right, I am following you now. Oop, almost did something crazy. All right. So check your inbox, and then I'll just send you a link, and then I'll take a look at that whole subscription thing. I don't feel like doing subscriptions. It's just too much. It's too much. All of it. It's just too much. All right. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your time and patience. I appreciate it. Yeah. Click on my face again. That's not a scary thought. Yeah, because if you click on my profile, that should be like the first link. Unless you just wanted me to follow you, sneaky. I'm teasing. All right. Yeah, I'm getting loopy. Okay, so tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be going live, and I'm going to be going step by step with the matrix multiplication. Trust me, there are some steps. Okay, so when you come in, don't be like, I don't know what's going on. Well, obviously, if you just came in, but I'm going to walk you through it step by step, and as well, able to add it to my cart. Okay, awesome. Yay. Thank you. Thank you for the support. And as I said before, and I almost forgot, if you are anyone that if you're trying to, I like to support other people if you want to follow them. If you're thinking about doing nursing, a Blessed RN is a good person, a good resource. A Blessed RN, she actually teaches how to calculate dosage with less stress and strain when it comes to the math. Okay, so definitely take a look at her, follow her. My friend Evelyn for Impact Math 19, she usually goes on at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, which I'm Eastern, so that'd be 2 p.m. my time. I also help with the tests or the T's and the ASVAT, the GED. I have a few people that are working on that. Or even if you're taking college courses and you're like, this course is going mad fast and I have no idea what my teacher is saying, reach out to me. Okay, I'm very good at translating, teacher. I used to do it. You know, some people are like, what did my teacher just say? She said subtract. Oh, okay. But if you do need some extra assistance or anything like that, she's a great resource to have as well. If you need assistance with chemistry, okay, Professor TK, she's a pretty good teacher when it comes to chemistry. And if you want to learn a new, not even a new way, this way has been around for centuries, working with the abacus, okay? Remember, if you type in the word math for a text message, you get this little box with beads on there. My friend Lynette has been teaching abacus for 20 years, and now she's really trying to mainstream it to the point that it's more interactive. She's not only doing it for like younger kids, she's actually doing it for adults as well. Maybe you're a parent that you want to teach your kids how to add and subtract and to have that physical device. She breaks it down that you can add, subtract, multiply, divide. Great person. Please follow her as well. Okay. Buy her book. She actually has a book on TikTok Shop. So I'm one of those people. I'm like, look, I celebrate people that deserves to be celebrated. And that's just how I do. That's how I roll. I know I'll probably be a pauper for the rest of my life. But you know what? I want to see other people win for something. I just really do. I just bought something for $5. Not sure what it was. For $5. Danielle, what are you trying to do? Let me tell you. For $5. Bought something for $5. And I'm sitting here thinking like, what the hell did I charge for $5? Let me take a look. I think you probably did the digital version of the book instead of the book through Amazon. I think that's what it was. Oh, okay. Yeah, because then you'll probably get a link and all that. Oh, hey, Lillian. Oh, my gosh. I almost missed you. Hopefully everything's going all right. Okay. But then maybe you could pass it on. Maybe there's someone else, like maybe one of your, I don't know, kids, family member, something. I don't know. But, okay. So that's all I'm going to do for tonight. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for sticking with me. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys ever get stuck, if you're taking a course or you're thinking about taking a course, you're thinking about going back to college and you're not too sure, just let me know. I mean, I'm always willing to talk to people and to hopefully inspire, I guess. I like to be real with certain situations. Like, if you're saying, yeah, I want to pass my GED in like 2 weeks. No. Like, no, it's going to take longer than that, right? Oh, you been here? Oh my gosh, Leanne. How are they blocking you? What you been doing when I haven't been around here? What kind of legal stuff you doing? All right. Okay, so that's all for me. I'm about to pass out. And if anything, just be ready to go tomorrow at 8:30. All right? So have a lovely evening. Please take care of yourselves. Keep being awesome. And go ahead. You might be able to catch my friend Lynette. She usually goes on late. I'm not sure if Impact Math is coming on late tonight, but I think Blessed RN, she might be already on. Okay, so just definitely take a look. Okay? And if anything, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really want to get that to grow. You can get all my replays, but again, my little Cornell notes and all that stuff, that will be, I'm going to just say like, hey, it's finally done. All the videos, everything's on there. You're going to download the whole entire book because right now I'm working on book number 3. Yeah. All right. So basically all of these notes here, all of this is book number 2. Okay. We'll talk a little bit of geometry, things that you can use for the Accuplacer, for the ASVAT, the GED, maybe even just a math class. If you have a child that's taking 9th grade math, that's one. That's book number 2. This is book number 1. So a lot of algebra, polynomials, okay? 1-step, 2-step, multi-step equations, point slope form, linear equations, okay? So all of this, well, the slopes have been done a couple of times. All of this will be involved. So either you can get a copy of book number 1, book number 2, and parts of book number 3 is part of it, or you can collect all of them at once. All right? Not a problem. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't think you would have gotten that. Oh, okay. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening. I know I keep saying the same thing over and over again. All right. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye now.